What's up guys, welcome to our channel, and today's tutorial is about how to make FPS counter in Scratch, and there is an Easter egg in this video, so find out and comment down below. So let's get started. Okay, let's see what does the word FPS means. Is it first person shooter game? No, FPS means frames per second. FPS counter is used to measure how much pixels the sprite moves in a second. Now let's move on to the tutorial. First of all, let's rename the sprite 1 as player. Now grab the when green flag clicked block and place it here. Now go to variables and let's make a new variable called FPS. Make sure it is for all sprites and click OK. Next we shall make a new list called FPS Counter. Make sure this is for this sprite only and click OK. Now drag the delete all of FPS counter and place it under the green flag. And drag a forever loop. Now go to variables and drag this block into the forever loop. And again drag that block here. And change the input to 1. Now the upcoming steps are a little complicated. No problem, I will teach them. Now go to variables and drag item of into the add block and again length of FPS counter into the item block. Now go to operators and drag a plus operator. Now drag the whole thing into it and add 1. Now let's see what the code does. When we click this block, it adds 1 to the list. When we click this block, it says 1. And in the list there is only one thing. Now when we click this block it says 1 and in the list the first item is the number 1. So it says 1. Now when we join these two blocks again it says 1. This is because the length of the FPS counter list is 1 and the first item is 1. So it says 1. I know this is little confusing, so refer to the description. In simple words, these blocks identify the last item of the list. Now again rebuild the block as we did before. Now when we click this, it adds the number 2 to the list and again it adds 3 and so on. This is because this code takes the last number of the list and adds 1 to it. So 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2 plus 1 is 3 and so on. Now this is very important. Go to the sensing category and you can see there's timer. Tick that block and you can see something like timer and some seconds. Now drag a if then block and go to the operators and drag a if greater than block. Inside it we can add timer and the timer is greater than 0.99. Now if timer is greater than 0.99, we should reset the timer. Now go to your variables and add a Oh, sorry. Delete all of FPS Counter and add a set FPS to 0. Now drag the length of FPS Counter and put into the set FPS block. If the timer is greater than 0.99, it sets the FPS to the length of the FPS counter list and deletes all of the FPS counter list and resets the timer to 0. Now let's test it. Let's click the green flag. Oh wait, what happened to our FPS counter? Now let's stop it. To fix this crazy behavior of the FPS counter, we should add a block, and that is wait 0 seconds block under the add. But why 0? 0 doesn't have any value. But in Scratch, wait 0 seconds is wait until next refresh. Now let's add under the add block. Now we are ready to go. Let's test the project. Now as you can see, the FPS counter is ready. Everything works perfectly. You can see the FPS counter changes slowly, like 25 to 19, 21, like that. And you can see the timer resets to 0 when it is greater than 1. Now let's hide it. We can also hide the list for faster FPS. When we hide those two, the FPS is now faster. And let's add some movement to the sprite. Now go to the motion category and drag the move 10 steps and point towards mouse pointer. And as you can see, the sprite always follows the mouse pointer and the FPS changes to it accordingly. And that's it for this tutorial, guys. If you enjoyed, please smash that like button and share it to your friends. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you in the next video.